Hello everybody, Demon Red Mist here, and I'm on Assetto Corsa, which I'll be honest, I've had no interest in trying. However, in the recent PlayStation Store discounts, this was in there for like £4. So I thought, well, you know what, I've often, like I said to people, why bother with a Assetto Corsa when GT's probably better? Well, I've said it without knowing for certain, so well, here we go. For £4, it's worth finding out. Okay, what I will say is I have had two very limited in time goes at this now. One on a controller, and I hated how the game looked and how it handled on a controller. Literally I did about 3 corners and went, fuck that. But I'm not a controller user anyway, I'm a wheel user, so that's what I've just done. And I've literally just done sort of lapping off of a track just to get a little bit of a feel of it, so that I can do this and have some idea of what's about to hit me. Right, first off, what I will say is on the wheel there is a lot of buttons. There's more buttons than we've got available, so there's some of the buttons are multi-used, which be a little bit confusing. Also, for anyone that tries this, if you want to adjust your force feedback, because I just, like I said, that's when I did a lap and off, but the force feedback was set to 100 and it's way too strong. It would just damage the wheel. The rest of these settings are standard apart from the understeer effects. I want to feel the understeer effects, the whole point of having a fucking wheel. Okay, what I will say is from the two limited goes that I've had, I've not been overly impressed with the graphics. However, a driver just did in this F1 car was slightly different. Right, for anyone that doesn't know, a bit like me, what cars are available, there are different cars compared to GT Sport. Most of them I don't give a shit about though, but that Alfa Romeo touring car is one of the ones that I do like. There's a few Audis there that isn't on GT, but most of them are. BMWs, nothing special there, on that page at least. Yeah, so there's nothing missing there that is on GT yet. Corvettes like we've got on GT. Now the Ferraris is where the F1 cars are, but also they got the 599 XX Evo, 488 GTB, so yeah, and the FXXK. We've got 2 F1 cars on the screen there, and we've got some old ones as well. So there are more Ferraris on this than there are on GT Sport. Also got slightly more modern F1 cars, but I don't really like them. Also we've got Ford at the rear side. Okay, so we've got classic Escort, and GT40, KTM with a crossbow, Lamborghini, no idea what's in here. Okay, yeah, a few modern, a few old, nothing really different to GT for them. Lotus, okay, a load of different Lotuses in there. So that's quite interesting. Oh, Lotus Exos, what's that then? Is that a way of saying F1 without being F1 one? Some more old F1 cars, some of the classic ones. So like I said, for the most part, oh, that's a nice car. For the most part, there isn't much difference with the cars, but there are a few special ones that this game does have. But if the game's shit, it doesn't matter what cars they've got. Now this is a car that GT Sport should have, the Mercedes-Benz 190E. I don't no idea what it's like, I've not driven it on this. nowhere near as many Nissans as GT has got. 4 pages of Porsches, some classics, some olds, some race cars, Le Mans. Yeah, so kind of your general, no idea what that is, your general F1 car, general Porsches, a couple of Roughs, Scuderia Competizione, Shelby, yeah, no surprise there, Tatus, don't know why it sounded South African then, and some Toyotas, no real surprise. So there isn't really a better car selection, it's just that this game has a few cars that the other one doesn't. I'm going to go with this F1 car though, and I am going to go to Silverstone, and I'm basically going to go with what I just had on. Now I'm going to turn automatic blip off because I've got a feeling that just made me spin a couple of times. I'm taking traction control off and ABS off because in an F1 car you don't have traction control, you don't have ABS, and I want to feel what the car is doing. Basically there's no way of working out if you've got grip or not unless you actually are in control of the car. So also stability control as standard is on a 100%, so I turn that all the way off. I turn mechanical damage off as well. Tyre wear's on, tyre blankets are on, so don't really know what that'll mean. Now I'm not expecting to spend a long time here, but I'm initially just going to go, right, okay, how do the graphics look? Well, in all the loading screens, when you load the game up and it's loading menu, it all looks very nice, very pretty, the music's not bad. Graphically here, looks pretty good, looks realistic, it may even be a real image. Now, when I loaded it up a moment ago, once it actually got into onto the track, it wasn't as good. Okay, so I look at that now and go, oh, okay, the wheels don't quite look right, but also that sound isn't quite right either. Now, on here, this is a time trial. What's the detail? Alright, okay. Now, you can do setup. There is a lot of information here that I've not really looked into, so I'm not 100% certain on what I would change, if anything, although I did feel like the car was bottoming out a bit when I had to go a moment ago. So I'm basically taking it as standard, straight out of the box, although, should we put some, we've got some softs, oh, some slick super softs. Yes, please. Actually, no, we'll go with the slick medium, which I drove a moment ago. So there's a lot to do with the setups in here, but I just really can't be arsed. For me, I used to like the idea of going full sim, but at the same time, I think a lot of games need a mode where you can basically just jump on, and without having to do shitloads with a setup, you can at least get round. Now that's where things got interesting for me a moment ago. Now when I first loaded in, this is the view it had me on, not the view I'm going to use. In olden days I'd have used that view, but not anymore. I'll go with the non-wheel one. Okay. See, that audio for me sounds wrong. That doesn't sound right for what this era of car. Now I will say it is slippy. The track isn't perfect, it's not grippy yet. Also the tyres aren't up to temperature, nor are the brakes. But there would appear to be no additional hood unless I'm sure I have a toggle hood button and it's doing nothing. So let's Yeah, so the toggle HUD button is doing absolutely nothing. Right, so I don't seem to have any additional on-screen display. Okay, so initially driving, yeah, not a lot of grip, but it's down to temperatures, then okay, fair enough. So let's have a look at the sort of the graphics. I just feel like I'm bottoming out. So locking up with a little bit of brake applied at 140 is not what you'd expect. Now this car, I can't remember if it had thirds, but I've got one button to activate thirds and DRS, so if I put one it'll do both. Little lock of, I've not been able to go full brakes yet, or full throttle yet. Here's the thing, there isn't really anything that's giving me an indication of tyre temperatures or brake temperatures. We've got a little bit of a lock up there, bit of understeer. Okay, so the feeling through the wheel you get when you get understeer is not a nice feeling. I mean, I've driven some fairly decent sims. I mean, I was racing on R-Factor 2 for a while, and Formula Sim Racing, so which is effectively one of the pinnacle of sims, F1 sims. Okay, and we've got the downforce. Yeah, so the sensations in certain situations, I have a fairly decent idea of what I would expect to feel. Okay, so that wobble there, that's the car bottoming out. Okay, I said I wasn't going to mess about with the setup, but the car is bottoming out, so how do I suspension height? That's at max height. Why is the screen going black? Okay, what was that all about then? Do I only get 2 fucking laps? Okay, that's a bit fucking odd. Why can't I get to the setup options? Maybe it is I mean, it could be me misunderstanding what the time attack is all about. It doesn't say anything on there about only having a couple of laps. I mean, what I will say is about, I mean, I like the idea of driving an F1 car, I've not driven the one on GT Sport for a while because I'm not a big fan of the sound that the hybrids make. But yeah, the sound that this car's making, it doesn't sound right. I know this isn't a hybrid, well, it may be part hybrid, but even so, it doesn't sound right. Okay. Interesting, the height is adjusting by with the tyre temperature, which you'd expect. So okay, that might be why I was locking up the brakes. I mean, you would often think you want 100% brake power, however, not always. Okay, I'm going to go with more downforce. I'm not bothered about the gears, but I do want to raise the ride height and surprised that the front is at its maximum. Okay. Don't really want to mess about with a lot of the setups, but right. Slippy off the line then. So definitely feeling a bit more grippy with the extra aeros. It should help with the braking as well. Oh, that's a horrible feeling with the understeer there. Taking 10 off the braking power has helped. The gears are a bit long. I'm not really liking the inputs I'm getting through the wheels. I didn't get the feeling that the rear was going then, it was a visual feeling, not a feel on the wheel. I will be honest, it's been a few years since I've driven a Silverstone. In terms of coming up to temperature, there's definitely more grip. The gears are too long now. It should be picking up more speed now. with that. I'm really not impressed with that. Hang on. Let's put the replay on. Now, the reason I'm really not impressed with that is because the way that it's making the sensation of understeer appear is it's basically just powering off the force feedback, which is giving an odd feel in the wheel. Now, compared to GT, when you get understeer in that, it's a smoother, more, I'd probably say subtle. It is a more subtle transition from grip to understeer, but you notice it very nicely. Whereas the understeer feel you get in this is really weird. It's odd. But then when I had the oversteer moment, following the understeer, there was no force feedback sensation that the rear end was losing grip. And that is why I said, that's interesting. And it's not good. It could just be this car. I mean, maybe I bottomed it out or something at that point. Why is this? Are we going to play going around the track? Come on. Let's have a look at the graphics of the replay. Okay, so the sound of the car on the replay, not too bad, but graphically it does look like a car imposed on a track. I don't know. I didn't like the look at that then. Alright, let's rewind a bit. Okay, so look. Okay, let's try that. So it was out of control for quite some time, but the only sensation I had of it being out of control was the understeer there. I gotta say, that's one thing that is, if it doesn't feel right on the wheel, then it's not gonna feel right in general. I want to try this car. This is one of my all-time favourite cars. This is. Whether I would like it after this, I don't know. Right, let's stay at Silverstone. I've got the understeer sensation option on, and I don't like how it feels. So I wonder what it's like with it off. Because if it's off and you feel nothing, then that's even worse. But now, for the people that know me that race on GT, I'm not having a go on this to see if it's worthy of replacing GT. To be honest, it was just simply out of interest of what it is like, so that I can compare them fairly. Oh my fucking hell, are we in the fucking late 90s? mean, okay, this is a 90s car, but God, the audio's awful. Okay, also, the steering wheel in the car doesn't line up to the position of my own steering wheel. Big lockup. Oh, the feel on the wheel is awful. I don't feel like I'm feeling the grip of the road. I'm just feeling weight. It looks weird, the amount of steering I've got compared to the steering in the car. I'll just change the view. Even that's a weird view. Shit, yeah, it's not an F1 car, though. I'll be honest, I don't like how it's feeling. That noise is, oh, it's breaking me. I mean, this is a fucking, a phenomenal car with a massive fucking engine, 370 horsepower, absolute beast of a car, and it sounds like this. Sounds better than our car. I mean, I don't mind the turbo whine or the compressor. It didn't like the curb. See, now on GT Sport they have the BMW that raced against this, but the road version. And I can tell you now that that sounds so much better and looks better. The graphics look blocky. Well, I know the cars are late 80s or early 90s, whatever, and it is blocky, but if you have it on this view where you can't see the steering wheel, then you don't get to see what I'm actually having to do with the steering to get around. And if I have it on this view, you still don't get to see what I'm having to do to get around. Oh, it didn't like that. I've got to remember it's not an F1 car, but I am thinking, like, bits of the track don't look too bad graphically, but I just think, wouldn't it be so much better on GT Sport, where, for example, Spa looks fantastic, Brands Extras, so does Monza. Oh my god, I've got so much more steering action good on there. I tell you, it's not looking good for the game. I mean, I'm not here to bash it. I genuinely was looking forward to driving that car and the F1 car, and yeah, I'm disappointed. What was I going to do? Right, I'm going to try. Let's go back to the. Let's go back to the Ferrari F1 car. We could go to the 2004. Let's go to the 2000. Now this car should. Okay, it's got no details on it. This car should sound fucking amazing. It's got no. Where's the? Alright, it's not on there. Yeah, no hybrid systems, nothing. Just naturally aspirated engine. Should sound fucking amazing, right? It should be streaming its fucking tits off. Should deafen me, but with me allowing it to do it and me enjoying the fact that it's doing that. So when it fires up in a moment, if you go, I'm not going to be impressed. Oh my god. That's how I was hoping it wouldn't sound. Right, let's take some of the brake off. Take some of the brake power off. I'm going to add the rider is 53 mil. Okay, this is going to sit on the fucking deck then, isn't it? Well, we'll see how it goes. Where was the option? Oh, but it was in the advanced controls. Bollocks. Right. So I've got understeer effects on, and I fucking don't like it. Hang on, what? Slip force feedback is naturally on 0, or the standard is on 0. I'm going to leave it at that for the moment. Right. Now I'm not saying that I would expect this car to have more grip, because I think compared to modern day standards it shouldn't. But that initial sound of the car, that instantly made me sort of cringe a bit. I mean, I don't mind the hypey music. Let's do this go. Good start. Fucking hell, is it gonna turn or what? I'll have to let the tyres fucking clean up a bit now. Okay, so there's got some of them, there's some little touches in the sound that are right, that are nice. I will say, the view looks odd. I couldn't tell you if it's realistic or not, because the last time I would have driven a car like this was probably a fucking F1 Championship edition. So it hasn't got the downforce. Now I either haven't had understeer yet, or turning the understeer off feels a hell of a lot fucking better. But then where's the point of not being able to feel the understeer? Because the only way that I feel like I'm getting information through the wheel as to what's happening is that the road's bumpy. It's bugging me that it is fucking bottoming out and bouncing all over the road. Interesting. That was a less worse experience. It's going to have a pit limiter and then take it off. Why has it not notified me? Or why have I not got control of the pit limiter? Oh, okay. I got a sensation of understeer then, but it was still not a nice sensation. To be honest, Twilight, I don't like it. The feel through the wheel is fucking horrible. The sensation from GT is much better. I don't feel connected to the car. I just feel like I'm moving a weight. The way the car's moving around, it's all visual. Like that, there was no sensation of oversteer. And interestingly, I think my wheels getting hot now as well. Either that or the tyres are very dirty, but the or worn. It's literally the force feedback is just putting off. Now I reduced the force feedback from the game's standard setting. But if I'd have left it in the standard setting of 100, my wheel would have cut the feedback earlier. Feedback's getting less and less, which means that the way that the system set up on it, it's fucking wrong. I mean, my wheel is not, it's not overheated, it's not hot, but basically it's trying to work too hard. Okay, so not impressed. Right, for anyone watching, just to let you know, my phone is about to die and I can't be asked to get up and go get the charge cable. Wow, so loud, noisy. I'm not sure what that means. Right, I'm going to try a little bit of the drifting, right, because this is going to be another key component as to whether they have got this kind of right. Well, I'm not done, Twilight, don't worry, unless you're off bed. Right, so I don't really know. Do Brands Hatchet in? No, well, there isn't really any drifting, is there? Go Red Bull Ring National, because there's a couple of corners there, should be able to drift. Now this for me is kind of like another key feature, in that when it comes to drifting, some games in the past you used to instead of opposite locking into the slide, you just keep turning in. I want to know which way this is. What I was saying about my phone dying was that if anyone messages on the channel, I won't be able to read it when my phone dies. Okay, I'm not going to do any setup changes because it's a drift car, so I'm just going to... Oh, the audio just sounds bad. Well, that didn't go well. Okay. The game's trying to steer the car for me. That went well. I'm not liking the sensation of the wheel. It's fucking dreadful. The rear end should not have kicked out there. I didn't do anything to kick it out. It's like it got near the corner and went, okay, we'll put it sideways for you. Just too much assimilation. This might be a bit hard to explain, but it is literally like the steering wheel has a mind of its own. And I don't really know how to explain it other than it felt like it was trying to assist me in drifting, and doing so made life a hell of a lot fucking harder. But I'm going to check one setting, if I can find it. Okay, it's not that setting. There. Virtual wheel rotation. See, I'm on, should be 720, I think. Or is it 920? Oh, 360. Yeah, it's 920. Right, so let's see if that's going to give me a 1-to-1 wheel ratio. Alright, and by that, what I steer, it will show. It may also get rid of whatever the fuck it was just doing on the steering, because that was ridiculous. I mean, so far the only thing that I've actually liked about this game is that I've been able to drive an F1 car around Silverstone, but it's not been very good. Okay, so the movement of the wheel visually is a little more realistic to what I'm doing. I'm not liking this at all. I'm really not. This. Oh dear. Right. I'm going to try one more thing, and then I'm going to be done. I'm going to go back to Ferraris. Okay, I'm not going to use a model. I'll use the one I started with. Silverstone. I don't know if I'm missing something with this game, but I'm really not feeling it. The thing is, I know I've not been able to explain too well about the sensations I'm getting through the wheel, but that's because the feeling is so fucking odd that I don't know how to explain it. But anybody who's been using a wheel for some time, I think you'd understand what I mean if you tried it. Right, so let's go mad through this time. See if it's still gonna fucking hook the deck, because I don't really, not much point raising the rear, because it's the front that's fucking, it's in the deck. One thing I will say is, why would you want the wheel set to 360 degrees rotation? I mean, the basic standard settings on the game are wrong. Because all that is going to do is make people oversteer more and hate the cars in the game more. Still don't feel connected to the car. I mean, it says something when you turn the understeer feature off and the car's nice and able to drive. Whoa, where'd that come from? No indication that that was coming. Okay, that may have been the opening DRS, because I did press the button. Is it? It must be limiting me to something. Hold on. I mean, it's even the time attack mode. I don't fully understand what's happening here. So I've had 2 laps on something. I've gone off. So okay? So it's restart. Normally on a time trial, you just keep doing laps. So 70 seconds, is that all the time I had to do a lap? Well, it's not what, that's why it's got the checkpoint, so I can add time. I can't say I was looking at that, but that's fine. Yeah. So if you want more laps, you have to not go off. So it's one way of trying to teach people to stay on the road, but it didn't explain that in any way, shape or form in loading through. Feedback's online again. Got no feeling there. Had no sense that that was too quick and sliding. Yeah, there's no feel in the wheel anymore. How can you have a game that standard settings are going to make your wheel work too much and cut the feedback? And for anyone that's wondering, oh, well, maybe your fucking wheel's old and knackered, my wheel is less than 1 year old. So it's not that. I've got to say, I have missed driving an F1 car, but not enough to keep going with this. The sensation through the wheel is absolutely fucking terrible. I've got absolutely zero feeling of an oversteer moment is about to happen. So all you've got is the visual aspect, and when that happens, it's already too late. You need to be able to feel it, to be able to react to it, and there isn't that feeling. So, I mean, just the sensation of driving it alone is enough to go, no, you know what, not for me. Now, I may, in the future, come back on and try turning the force feedback way down from what it should be, but why the fuck is it set to 100 in the first place, so that when you come on, you have to turn it down? Like, you're basically gonna fucking blow people's wheels. I mean, I don't get it. I almost feel bad that I spent fucking £4 on the game. That's wrong. But anyway. Right, I'm done here. So what I would say is, if you're thinking about getting a Assetto Corsa, get GT Sport instead. Right, have a good one everybody, and I'll see you all again soon.